Hey everybody, welcome back to another expert interview. This is Mike St. Pierre from Nonprofit Productive, and we're really excited to have Matt Johnson with us. He's the co-founder and CEO of Taskable. And Matt, just want to welcome you to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So tell us about Taskable. How did you start it? What's the problem that it's trying to solve? You're putting some great content out on the internet. It really caught my eye, and that's how we connected.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks. To start with the content, it's something that I really like to do. So it's great that it resonates with people, but it's something that just personally I enjoy, writing. So I'm glad that it's finding an audience. So Taskable started basically like right before COVID happened. Me and my co-founder, we'd worked together for a few years at a previous startup, and we're based in London at the time. And we both had the same problem, which was that, you sit down to do some simple task or to start your day, and all the information you need to complete your work is spread across multiple platforms. I was freelancing at the time, and I had multiple Gmails, multiple Slacks, a couple of Saunas, a Trello, HubSpot tasks. It was just a huge mess. And similarly, my co-founder, he's a software developer. And he had a similar problem, which is that even internally, there's stuff in Slack, there's stuff in Jira, there was stuff in GitHub. And so just all this information was spread all over the place. And I was finding that I would sit down and start my day, and instead of just getting to work, I was having to spend, an hour just sort of gathering information, bringing it into one place. So that's what we started with. And sort of quickly we started building these integrations with Slack and Asana and Jira, et cetera. But quickly what we found is that if you start to port all this data into a single place, what you're doing is creating this sort of second order problem, which is that, okay, now I have this digital clutter. I don't have a way to actually manage and control my time. And that's what we were finding was people were really concerned about time management. Where are they spending their time? Are they doing the most critical stuff? And so that's when we started to think a lot more about, time blocking or time management or prioritization and things like that. And so we started building a lot of features around that. So, being able to actually schedule your week out so you can take this long backlog of items you have and start to make a plan. Okay, I'm gonna work on this Monday, I'm gonna work on this Tuesday, so on and so forth. And just the act of doing that gives you that sense of, okay, I have a lot of things to do, but at least I know when I'm gonna do it. And similarly, we one day we decided, it'd be great to put a calendar in the product because, we have this today view, and we can show everyone, not only the tasks they need to get done, but also, the events they have. And this is for, I was never a time blocker myself, and I never really got into it previously, but we had a lot of users say, it'd be great if I could just drag things into that calendar and use Taskable that way. And so eventually we're like, okay, that's a great idea. Let's build this time blocking feature. And so that was something that we worked on at the beginning of this year. I've become a convert to time blocking personally. We dog food our product ourselves and try to use all the features. And I started using that time blocking feature, and it was a complete game changer to me. And I think, that really resonates with a lot of people, and it's something that we've gained a lot of traction with. Cal Newport says you can get 50% more done with a structured day. And I absolutely believe that that's true. I think not only am I getting more work done in a shorter amount of time, but I also have now more time to do things like reading, and I'm time blocking for reading and doing some more personal pursuits. And so that's really what our mission is it's not about like, let's 10x your productivity and make you look the superhuman, productivity machine. It's more about, let's help you get the most you can get done in a short amount of time. So you have time for other things, whether that's, other work pursuits, it's a side project, it's spending more time with your family, it's spending more time reading and things like that. And so that's really sort of our mission is, let's help people get the most out of their time so they have time for other things that are important for them.
Which is great news, I think, for everybody, especially nonprofit leaders. And you're going to show us a demo, I think. As you get that ready and as we do that, what's been some of the feedback that you've had from users?
Yeah, I think my favorite feedback we've ever gotten was from one of our users, Joel, and the testimonials on the website. But he sent me an email and said, basically, I was overwhelmed this week. I didn't know how I was going to get everything done, and I took all those tasks that were in my Todoist, they sync into Taskable, and I put them into like that schedule view you have, and it just instantly gave me a sense of relief of knowing when I was going to get things done. And that's really what we're going for. We want to be sort of your happy place. We get so much information now, Slack notifications. And in fact, I just had to close my Slack because I was getting them in my ear, and it's like stressing me out. You got a million emails in your inbox. You have all these things to do. What we want to do is give you back control over that. And that's the most exciting feedback we get is people think, okay, I can see where I'm spending my time. I have a sense of control over what I'm doing. I'm not letting notifications and emails dictate my time. I'm actually able to take back control over my day. And that's the most exciting feedback. You know, we get a lot of feedback on the simplicity of the product. There's, you know, there's a few competitors in this space, obviously, and but a lot of them are just super complex products that, you know, have all these features, and you know, we think we have some pretty powerful features, but the way we deliver them, we try to make it super simple for the end user. So it's not, you know, there's so many things, like people trying to, you know, do their productivity stuff in Notion. You know, Notion's a great product, but you have to spend so much time maintaining that and playing around with it and getting it just right. And that ends up taking away time from actually doing the work. And that's what we really want to be, is just super easy, super simple, give you that sense of relief, but help you get things done and not spend a bunch of time, you know, futzing around with your productivity tool.
Let's take a look. I'm excited to see
Yep.
how Taskable works.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Get my sharing going. Let me hide that. How do I do that? Let's see here. Hide the, there we go, cool. So yeah, so there's a few features around Taskable. Like I mentioned, the thing that we really started was with these integrations. So the idea is bring everything into a single place. So obviously we have the calendar integration, and I'll show you that in a second. We integrate with Slack and Gmail. With those communication tools, the user pushes information to Taskable. So with Gmail, you star a message, that'll sync to your Taskable inbox. With Slack, we have the Slack app. So you're able to take a message that someone sends you and actually save that into Taskable. Then with these project management tools, these are a bit more straightforward. So any task assigned to you, and you know, if you have HubSpot tasks, any issue or pull requests in GitHub assigned to you will sync into Taskable. Same with, you know, Jira, Trello, all these other ones. So those ones you actually don't have to do anything. If you set up these integrations, now anything that needs your attention will automatically sync into Taskable for you. And that's really the idea, is we need to, in order for this product to be useful for you, you have to have a single source of truth, a place where everything is going to live. And that way you're not sort of, you know, things aren't slipping through the cracks. So that's the first step. So, you know, the second step is actually, you know, this sort of planning and prioritization view. And so we do it in like a Kanban style because, you know, a lot of users are already used to that, and they kind of, it's sort of an intuitive flow. And there's something kind of like fun about, I think, a Kanban view, sort of dragging cards across. So the inbox is really any of the integrations. So, you know, we use Trello for project management internally. Anything assigned to me in Trello will sync into Taskable. I can do some triaging here. I can assign like a priority level. I can schedule it for a certain date from this task description view. I can assign it to a space. So mine are work and personal. And then I have this little website I'm working on, a ski area directory that I kind of work on some weekends. And so I can kind of assign things to a place. So I know that, you know, that's related to that particular context. We also have labels, things like that. You can add links, you can add subtasks. So, you know, generally what I do is I do a weekly planning every Monday. I take things from my inbox, I'll put them into a priority level. I put them into this to-do list. And then, you know, the second step is actually, I use this priority sort, which is really nice. I put the highest priority items at the top of the list. So I sort by priority, then by due date. And so it just makes it easy to know, okay, these things are high priority, they're due relatively soon. I know that I need to have put my attention towards these things. And then I start to actually just plan out my week. And so I'll drag, you know, a few items into each day of the week. So as you can see here, I've already planned this week out. It's Thursday already, so I'm almost all the way through. I have 16 things left for today. I usually keep Friday fairly light, so I have 9 things scheduled for Friday. But you can see future dates here. So on, you know, on the Monday, I start to actually sort of just drag things into each of these columns. So that's the first step, is just like having that planning routine. And I like to do it on a weekly basis. But then each day for a few minutes, I'll just look at my inbox again and just make sure there's nothing sort of super important that landed in there. And if there is, I'll try to get into my weekly planning. But with this planning, what's great about that is I'm actually taking back control over my time. I'm not just seeing things in my inbox and immediately getting to them because you know, they feel important because they're new. Instead, I have this sort of cooling off period where I know, like, okay, it's in my inbox. Let me check it. I already have my plan for this day or this week. You know, I'll check it again tomorrow and see if it's super important. If it is, I'll get it in. If it's not, you know, maybe this could wait till next week because I have these other priorities. So I find a big problem a lot of people have is like always wanting to react to the newest, shiniest object in their inbox. And we kind of help you avoid that. That way you're always knowing you're working on the most important stuff. So that's sort of that scheduling view. And then the last view is this day view. And so this is where you, as a user, are going to spend most of your time. So as you can see, it's everything that I scheduled to work on for today. As well as my calendar. And this is like the cool feature, that time blocking feature that we released at the beginning of this year, was I can actually start to drag tasks into my calendar. So as you can see, I've already time blocked my day. I have 14 things time blocked. But my friends over at Demo Genie, I'm going to try out their product today, and maybe I'll do that right after this call. I could drop that task. Let's get it in there. I can drop that task right into my calendar there. I can resize it. So this is probably going to take me 15 minutes. And we just make it super simple to time block your day. This will sync to your Google Calendar, so it'll show up in your calendar as well, so your colleagues can see the things you're working on. I can also, if you're using like Calendly links or people are scheduling meetings with you, it'll block that time out. But it just really lets you, itemize your day and then do that time blocking, which as I said earlier, can help you be, like, according to experts, is up to 50% more efficient. And I really find that to be the case. I'm really sort of sticking to these time blocks, and it's helping me get things done in a shorter amount of time. And so that's really the sort of the main differentiator of our product, is making it super simple to do this time blocking. So yeah, that's the product. There's a few other small features, but those are the sort of general the main features of Taskable.
So Matt, I love how, each item is gets a label, a Trello label, a Todoist label, whatever. I think that's really nice because it just sort of visually makes it appealing and you have a sense. Two questions. One is, can you use it as a standalone, or do you have to use these integrations from these other sources? And then second, do you see this as replacing those others? I mean, let's say I'm using Jira. Do I still need to go into Jira occasionally? Is this just sort of minimizing that, or what do you think?
Yeah, so to answer your first question, yeah, absolutely, you can use it as standalone. The integrations generally, and this kind of answers the second question a bit as well, is generally if you're working by yourself, say you're a single founder, you don't have a team, you can use Taskable just as your project management tool and task management tool, because there's no one you have to coordinate with. We're a single player product. We don't have any team features. There's plenty of great collaboration products out there. We really want to be focused on you individually and your productivity, and that's how we do differentiate from those other project management tools. A Jira is not meant to help you be more productive. It's to help a team coordinate. Slack is clearly not meant to help you be more productive because it's noisy and it's a lot of work to just keep up with Slack. So what we're trying to build is the place for you to be productive. And so if you're just by yourself, create tasks here. You can use it as a project manager, but generally if you're in a team, you're going to be using Jira, Asana, Trello, something to coordinate with the team and see who's doing what. And we don't want to replace those products because those products are great for that. We use Trello internally. It's a great product. It's a great way for, we're a team of 3 or 2.5. We have a freelancer who works part-time with us. And so we can coordinate as a team. Ksenia is working on this front end stuff. Tom's doing has a big feature he's working on, and I'm doing some growth marketing type deal. And we can kind of see what everyone's working on, or Tom can assign me something, I can assign something to Ksenia, and so on and so forth. So the way that we use Trello is that's where we do our collaboration. But when I need to sit down and do work, everything syncs into Taskable, and that's where I spend my time, coordinating my own time. And so the analogy I like to use is that these collaboration tools like Slack, Trello, these are sort of the digital equivalent of like an open office floor plan. So everyone's in there sort of bumping into each other, coordinating, collaborating, exchanging information. But at some point you need to go sit in your office somewhere, put your headphones on and put your head down and do work. And so Taskable is sort of that digital equivalent of that private office where you've done your coordinating, you know what you need to do, and now you need to get that work done. And so that's where you come to do that work. So absolutely, you can use it without the integrations, because obviously you just have a lot more time for that deep work. You're not having to coordinate with anyone. But if you are working with a team, use the right tool for the job. There's great project managers out there. Use those. We try to integrate with all the good ones, and then anything that you need to get out of that project manager to do your work, we try to sync it into Taskable for you, so you spend less time having to go in there.
Makes sense. And Matt, which platforms? Just online or Mac OS, Android, iOS? Give us a sense of that.
Yeah, so primarily it's a web app. We have a good friend, a fellow pioneer company called Do Desktop, which we use to make our desktop app, which it's a great product. And so we do have a desktop app as well. And we're actually creating a lot of new features for that as we speak. So we're going to have the ability to hit a keyboard shortcut and open up and sort of a task add modal, so you can add a task from anywhere, so to make that super quick. So we're really going to focus more on the desktop app, and we do have really basic mobile apps for Android and iOS. The desktop app works across Linux, Windows, and Mac, so we have the two mobile apps. They're really basic right now. be able to add a task really quickly and see your schedule for the day. There's no time blocking or calendar features in there yet. At some point, we do want to focus on the mobile experience. That'll be super important, but for the time being, really focus more on desktop.
No, makes sense. And Matt, for nonprofits, I think you've got some special pricing. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can offer 50% off for anyone in the nonprofit space. So currently our pricing is $10 a month or $100 to get annual access. So for nonprofit people, we'd love to offer that for $5 a month, $50 for the year. What you can do is we don't have a way to sort of give you a coupon code at the moment. So I can, if you want to give everyone my email address, and if they sign up, they can send me an email and I can apply that discount for them manually, and we'll give that to you in perpetuity. Our pricing will change over time, but if you get in early, we'll get you in on that lower price for the foreseeable future, or for forever, I suppose. So yeah, go ahead and send me an email, matt@taskablehq.com, and yeah, we'd love to help more nonprofit people be productive. My mom works in the nonprofit space, and she's using Taskable as well a little bit. So yeah, I would love to help more nonprofit leaders.
Well, Matt, thanks a lot. Thanks for the demo. Thanks for the tour. Thanks for coming alongside your mom and other nonprofit
Yep.
leaders. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to promoting Taskable.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much, Mike, for having me, and really appreciate the opportunity to share with everyone.